Hello, you beautiful human. I am Xanthe, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you an interview that I did with Mason Adams. They are incredible, and I can't wait for you to hear their story. Hey Mason, how are you?
Good. How are you, Xanthe?
Good. So to start off this interview, what do you identify as?
So I identify as non-binary and as queer.
Okay.
That's like pretty broad, but so queer is kind of like who I like, and then non-binary is like my gender identity. So yeah, took me a while to figure it out, but here I am.
Well, you figured it out, so that's even incredible. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 17, so guess not really a long time, but figuring it out, it felt like a long time.
For sure. Mhm. And then what grade?
So yeah, I'm in grade 11 mostly.
Yeah, like kind of.
I'm almost done grade 11. I'll be
Yeah.
in grade 12 next year.
Yay!
And because it is June, this is going to come out in June. June?
Mhm.
June! It's June right now, and I'm going to grade 12 next year, and I am super excited. And yeah, so high school, basically. I'm a high school student.
High school. Me
Yeah.
too. When is like the earliest memory of you kind of feeling different than your surrounding peers?
When I started realizing I didn't have crushes on people, because I think had I had representation in media younger, I would have figured it out younger. And so it's been a lot of looking back, and I think I would have realized it earlier had I had representation. But so the second I saw queer people in media, it was like, oh, that's me. But when I realized I didn't have crushes, that was started helping me figure it out. And I just never had crushes ever on boys. And then I assumed, and I didn't, but I never acknowledged that I had crushes on girls because for me, no one ever told me that was allowed. So I just assumed I really wanted to be friends with people. Like, really, really wanted to be friends and live with them forever. Because that's what friends did.
Yeah, it's
No
like
one
a friend crush.
Yeah, because no one told me that you could do kiss or so no one told me that I was allowed to. So yeah, but once I figured out through representation in media that I could be gay or queer, and that happened at age 12, then I was like, oh my God. And then it happened all within a few months that I was kind of well, everything, it all kind of just figured it out. Everything clicked into place, but yeah, it was all pretty fast after that because I was like, oh my God. Yeah. But then I still look back and I'm like, oh my God, I had a crush on that person and I didn't know it. So I don't know what my earliest crush is because I didn't acknowledge it, you know?
Yeah, for sure, I understand. And how about your identifying as non-binary? How did that kind of come
So
about?
that actually came first. So I was watching a TV show called The Fosters, and there was a trans character in that. And I was like, what? And so I figured out what trans was, and then I was watching that, and then I started researching, and I was like, it really sat well with me that I didn't have to identify. And then I started, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna tell anyone because I don't want to be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll be upset. And I was 12 at this point, and I was freaking out because I didn't want to be wrong, and that was super scary. But then everything started to make more and more sense because, yeah. And then I was like, oh my God. I was super unhappy at that time, and there was a lot of stuff going on. But once I figured that out, I was still unhappy because I knew something that I couldn't share, but then I was happy that I knew it. But once I figured that out, then I was figured out my sexuality pretty soon afterwards too. Yeah. So they're pretty intertwined for me because they all happened in the same time period. So even though I figured out one first, I came out as gay first. So
Well, that was probably like it probably felt easier because being
yeah,
gay is like more people know what that is than being non-binary, I guess.
yeah, yeah, and it was made more sense to people and it's easier to explain. Yeah. But like it was still a process, you know?
For sure.
And like and like no one expected it from me either because I was like a girly girl and I had long hair and wore dresses. And I still do like dresses. I don't have long hair anymore. And I still wear dresses and I wear makeup. I have makeup on right now.
It
And I
looks
still like makeup.
fabulous.
Thank you. And like, but I started realizing that those aren't synonymous with being female. And once I started seeing people in media again, and I started realizing that those being female and liking those things aren't the same thing, I started feeling more comfortable as myself. And for the first time, I started feeling more like myself. And I was like, okay, like I don't need to fit any mold, you know? But like, and then I also cut my hair. I loved cutting my hair. That was fantastic. Also, most people were like super surprised that I did it, you know? And it was a really easy way to come out to people. They're like, you cut your hair. I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty gay, right? And I came out to a lot of people with my hair, you know? So that was a fun time. So did that. If you're looking for a fun way to come out to people, just call yourself gay about your hair.
I like that.
It doesn't have to be, because it doesn't have to be a big deal coming out. I mean, it could be, but I had decided it wasn't going to be. Because even though it was like sort of a big deal, it also wasn't a big deal. Because in my family, like nothing is a big deal. Like things are big deals, but like we don't make big deals of things. So
That's amazing. Who was the first person you told?
your girlfriend.
Really?
Your girlfriend. Yes,
Oh
it was. It was. So I'll tell you the story because she really likes the story and it is a cute story. So we were talking about crushes and we were girl guide cookie selling and I like didn't want to tell her who I had a crush on because it was a girl. And she like was trying to guess and I'm like, well, maybe the person I have a crush on. And I'm like, fine. And I was like, you know what, fine. Maybe the person I have a crush on is a girl. And she's like, what? And then we talked about it like all night. And so like as we were cookie selling. Yeah. Yeah. So I like had like a sort of crush on this girl who went to my school. Who this girl was bisexual and out and very proud. And I like vaguely still know this girl. And she's super nice. But at the time I was like in awe of her. And she had dyed hair and wore Doc Martens and like big rimmed glasses. And I was like, oh my God, you're the most beautiful person on the planet. And so, yeah. And then I was like, and so I told Kat about her. And then I came out to Kat, and Kat also thought that was very exciting. And it felt very safe to come out to Kat. And I mean, I guess turns out Kat also wasn't straight, so that was, great too. And so yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had someone to talk to about gay stuff.
That's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you said that your parent, like with your family, it isn't like you don't make big deals about things. But were they accepting of you coming out as queer and non-binary?
Well, like, it took a while for the non-binary thing to, like, stick. But now they're like they're pretty good about it. And they got me this pride pin, which is like, so I really like chemistry. So it's like NV, the element. And then it's like also like a pride thing, which is super cute. And they use my pronouns, which are they, them. So yeah. But it took them a while to like understand it more. But they were accepting, they just didn't completely understand it. And then for me liking girls, they were fine from the get-go. They were like, yeah, okay. So it just, yeah. So like my immediate family and then like my extended family doesn't know I'm non-binary, or we just like, they know, but we just don't talk about it, or like, like an open secret.
Mhm.
Like people, like my cousins probably know, but like grandparents, or like, and like everyone like probably knows I'm gay because like I'm not that subtle, like.
Not really.
No, yeah, like it's fine. Like I make attempts to be not subtle. Someone assumed I was straight once and I got mad. Um, like I wore pronoun pins. Come on, guys. I wear pride pins, rainbow shoes. Like I try so hard to be not straight.
You dress up like a
Like
rainbow crosswalk for Halloween.
it was a rainbow walk for Halloween. Okay, but do you remember what I was the year before, Xanthe?
No.
I was gay Waldo before.
Oh my gosh, you were!
So yeah, so like this year for Halloween I was a rainbow crosswalk, but in like 2018 I was gay Waldo. Like, and those were just all things that I already owned. I just wore them all at once and then had a pin which said Waldo. Like I was literally, and then whenever anyone said, "Are you?" I'm like, say it, and they're like, "Gay Waldo," and I'm like, and I'd act all shocked for a second. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm gay Waldo." A lot of my like queerness energy goes into being actively visible because I think I would have figured it out earlier if people around me were more visible. And I think I would have liked to know earlier, which is why I am so what I like to call aggressively gay. And also because it's what annoys the homophobes.
Yeah.
And I knew someone who used to be homophobic. And he's very proud of himself because he's no longer. And I like to think I had something to do with it because I was a little bit annoyingly gay around him. And then he was like, "Oh, you're not going to stop." And I'm like, "No." So, there's reasons to being aggressively gay.
Yeah.
Good. It's good.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about GSA and how you are like the president of it?
Well, yeah. So, I decided that after not being out in elementary school that I was darn nabbit gonna have a GSA. So, and then I got to high school and there wasn't a GSA. And so I decided I was gonna make one. So that required me to join another club, which then just to talk and bug teachers into letting me have a GSA. So then in ninth grade, I founded the GSA. And then since then, I've been running the GSA. So I'm going to grade 12. So if there's any USS students who want to take over the mantle for, yeah, because we need someone for after I leave to run it because it's a good time and we do good stuff and we have awesome Christmas parties and watch good movies. And yeah, but so we run GSA because we believe Xanthe's in it too. It's really is a fun time. And the great part is we really get whatever we want from admin. Really should tell you that. And also, it's really it is so much fun because we can really do whatever we want. Like it's a completely student-run club.
Mhm.
So we get to choose what we do, when we do it. So if we didn't want to do anything, we wouldn't have to, but we want to do stuff and we want to show our school community that we're here and we're queer and yeah, it's awesome and I really like doing it. And also we should probably get some more straight people. If you're straight and want to join GSA, you're welcome too.
So then with that, how are your friends, other than my girlfriend, with you coming out to them?
I have like no straight friends. It sounds so bad. I have like no straight friends. I have like 2 straight friends. It's so bad. But like it sounds so bad. And like so like they're fine because when they met me I was out. And yeah, so if they weren't fine with it, I wouldn't have been friends with them. I like made friends with one person and followed her to lunch and was like, because I was like, you look like, yeah, sure, you. I followed her to lunch and befriended her and then befriended the rest of the friend group. And then now those are my friends. And yeah.
So, when was your first relationship, and was it with a girl?
So, yes, I've had one relationship. She's now one of my best friends because we broke up. It was in 9th and 10th grade, and it was for a while, and now we're good friends. So yeah, we dated for a while, and then we broke up, and now it was awkward for a little bit, but then we got over it because we dated in our friend group and had to. If you're gonna date in your friend group, beware.
What are the biggest misconceptions of your identity?
Um, that everyone is like a teenager. I know I'm a teenager, but like that everyone's like super young, and it's not true. Like there's like adults, there's people who are like 60, and everyone like looks the same. Um, I fall into like the stereotype of like, but not everyone like looks the same. Like there's a huge variety, but unfortunately, of the representation, we often of like non-binary people, we often get like a very set of representation, which is young people and unfortunately white people and skinny people and able-bodied people, which is really frustrating and really something like which we should actively try to counteract because disabled people and people of color and just like disabled people, we really need to work on showing and hearing more of their voices. And like people of different ages, I think that's really important. And I think that's definitely also important for young people to also see that like there is older voices. And like when I was trying to decide if I was gonna like come out to people, one of the hard things for me was like, but like there's no adults. Like I was like, maybe I am, this actually isn't me because I don't see any adults. And so when I actually found out, oh my God, there's adults like identify like this, that was like really big for me. Because no one, just those, didn't see that anywhere. So yeah.
Well, those are really really good points, and it's good for the viewers to hear that as well. And hopefully, if there's someone who is feeling like they might not be, but they feel like they are, hopefully this gives them some confidence. And then, what would you say is like the hardest part about being part of the LGBTQ plus community?
I mean, like, depends where you are. And I think it definitely, so like, I can only speak again from my personal experiences because I do speak from a place of privilege from other parts of me, because like, my family does have other points of privilege. So I can only speak from where I come from, because even though I am a queer person, I still have other privileges. So for me, like I still do have like a lot of acceptance, which is really awesome. So like even though realistically like there is still a little bit of oppression, like it's not what other people face. So like sure, I have people not respecting my pronouns, but it's not like I'm gonna get kicked out for that. And sure, I might have like be underrepresented in the careers I want to go into, but it's not like I'm probably not going to get picked for them. So like even though there's a lot of work to be done, I still know that I do have privilege. So I think it's a really hard question, you
It
know?
is.
I think it's a really complex issue, but I'm hoping that as long as we can acknowledge that we all have different struggles and we need to collectively work ourselves, not just ourselves, but our communities to collectively bring up marginalized people, I hope we can improve things.
I love that. And yes, I absolutely agree. And then, um, what is the best part about being part of the LGBTQ plus community?
I like that I stopped worrying about what others saw and thought of me because like before I constantly worried what I was wearing, like before I came out and before I knew things about me, I like was worried about fitting in and things like that. But now I'm just really truly myself. Like I realized I really liked 50s fashion and but like it's not in, but like I don't really care, so I wear it anyways. Or I decided that I realized that I really like some kind of crazy makeup that is like a little bit more than what most people wear, but I don't really care, so I wear it anyways. Or like I just feel like I can show who I am, and like you know what, most people are like might judge me anyways, so like doesn't really matter, you know? Like, doesn't really matter about the little things because, like, you could judge me for the big things or the little things, doesn't really matter. Might as well judge me for the things I can choose, you know? Like, I can choose what color my hair is. I can choose all of those. So, I'm gonna wear really crazy shoes all of the time. I guess I like the freedom of expression, which I noticed in the queer community a lot more. Like people, oh my God, the things I see us wearing sometimes, I'm like, that is brave. I am like, I don't know if you're pulling it off, but damn good for you for trying because like, oh my God, like awesome. And like, and like sometimes like the stuff I'm wearing, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm pulling it off, but like, good job. You
Good
know,
job.
like,
And then the last and final and probably the hardest question. Are you ready?
yes.
So, what advice would you give someone who is struggling with their sexuality? I know that you've already kind of given some advice, but
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you're Googling am I gay quizzes, you're gay. Um, so write that down. Second of all, like that, oh my God, would have saved me so much time. But really, things could be like hard right now, but you'll probably figure it out. And also, if you don't, that's also okay. Like, I don't have a good word to describe my sexuality, so I just decided I was going to use queer because there's really no word for someone who doesn't really like guys, but likes girls and also is non-binary and likes non-binary people. So I just decided I was going to call myself queer, you know? Like, if you don't have it 100% figured out, but you still want to come out, that's okay because you just don't feel like you can keep it in anymore. But also, if you never want to come out, that's fine too. Like, you don't have to have it 100% figured out because I don't think anybody does. Um, I sure still don't. And there's always people who will listen to you and have advice because we all like talking, and talking about our experiences because we're drama queens. And it's things will are constantly changing too, like, and so hopefully it's for the better, and so it'll hopefully get easier to come out and think there are more people around you will support you, and there'll be more washrooms you can use, and it'll be easier to share your pronouns, and it'll become standard practice. And also, like, it'll get better. I can't, like, I really do hope if you're in a small town, if you're in a big town, I really do hope it'll get better. I can't promise, but like, got a good hunch it'll get better. And things, once you come out, most of the time, things feel easier. You'll find a group of people who it's easier to talk with about, or you don't have to talk with about. That's why queer people befriend other queer people, because you don't have to talk about it, but you can. Assumed that I figured that out. And you're loved, and yeah.
That is very good. I love what you said, and I agree. And yes, whoever you are watching, you are so loved.
And pride goes on in our hearts because it can't go on in person. And if you really need to go out and get that pride feeling, go support a Black Lives Matter protest, because those people really need our support. I mean, not those people. Our communities need our support.
Well, it was lovely talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you really helped whoever is watching this video. Thank you so much for being with me today and sharing your story. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely week.
Bye!
Bye! Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed listening to their story, and I hope that it helped you. If it did, leave a like and comment down below what part was the most helpful and what part was the most relatable. Subscribe for more videos like this and hit the little bell so then you get notified every time I post a new video. I post every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a lovely day, and here are more videos that you can watch. See you next week. Bye!